Hi everyone, Angie here, and I'm so glad you could join me for this episode of In the Studio with Angie. Today we will be learning how to do a satin edge stitch, which is a great finish for your small art quilt projects. So why don't we just jump right on in and get started. So this is the project that I'll be doing the satin edge stitch finish on. Just a little postcard, a fabric postcard that I made and colored in with colored pencils. I will be doing the satin stitch using a black thread that coordinates with the black thread I've used on the postcard. And so let me go ahead and tell you about the machine settings. The machine settings I will be using, and I would show you them on my machine, but my LED display on my machine, when I put the camera on it, it's hopping all over the place, and that would be very irritating. So I'm using a basic zigzag stitch, and for the initial round, we will be making 2 rounds around this postcard. For the initial round, I set my zigzag width slightly lower than the full width my machine will go. For instance, my machine goes up to 6, so I will set it for 4.5. And I will set the length a little short, so I'm going to set it at 1. So my machine, the width 4.5, my length at 1. We'll go around the postcard once. Once we do that, then I'll set it to a wider width and an even shorter stitch length, and that will fill in between. So let's go ahead and do the first round. So we're ready to do the first round of zigzag stitching around a fabric postcard, and I like to start along one side. I don't start at the corner because it's hard to get going. So just start along one side. And if you have a needle down position, go ahead and set that. I like to have the right side of the zigzag stitch go slightly off the edge of my fabric. And when you get to the corner, have your needle stop on the outside edge of the fabric. That way, when you lift it and turn your corner, you can position your fabric up against the needle, and the first stitch will be back onto the fabric. Again, at the corner, stop with the needle on the outside edge of the fabric. Lift your presser foot, turn your piece, and butt the edge up against the needle, and start sewing again. Okay, so now we're back to where we started. At this point, I will increase my zigzag width to the full width of my machine, and then I'll take my stitch length down to about a 0.5. I really want to fill in these spaces in between the stitches. In the corner on an outside edge, turn it, position the fabric so that it is up against the needle. Well, I've run out of bobbin thread, but we're close enough to the finish so that I think I can stop and show you. So here's the finished fabric postcard. And actually, running out of thread turned out to be a good thing. You can clearly see the difference between just one row or one pass and 2 passes. Okay. If you're using a very lightweight thread, you may want to make 3 passes, but this is where doing a test sample before you start will come into play. You'll know exactly what you need to do to get the look you want. For this casual piece, for me, 2 passes is enough. I really like this casual finish for these postcard pieces because they really don't need a traditional finish like you would on a regular quilt. To me, this just adds to the playfulness of the piece, and I think it's a great look for this. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this and find this useful and can maybe use it in your fabric and textile art pieces. If you'd like to see more videos of this sort, please visit my YouTube channel. The link is popping up on your screen right now. I hope to see you back here again soon, but until then, please have a beautiful day.